Hey, welcome back. And in today's video, a woman allegedly abuses her child, makes a video, edits it, and uploads it. Now, there's a lot of people on both sides of this. We're gonna go through it and see what you guys think about it today in social commentary. Now, if you're following the Repzilla Facebook page, you already seen a new commentary type video that I did on this, and if you're not, well, you better hurry up and get over there. So in this video, it can be seen this woman, her name's Michelle, and Michelle, what she does is she, apparently her 2-year-old daughter, I believe it's her 2-year-old daughter, gets into her Jeffree Star Alien palette, which is a makeup product, ruins it. You see her say, hold on, briefly leave for a second and come back saying that her hand hurts because she had to pop her daughter one. So let's watch that video.
2 pallets of mine, and one of them is being discontinued. One second. My hand hurts because I just beat the crap out of her. Not literally. But I told her a lesson. Because I'll be damned if she's going to all over me. I know a lot of parents might not agree with me, but I don't normally spank my child. Unless I absolutely have to, and usually it's just a pop. And it barely hurts. She cries for like 5 seconds.
You can see whoever screen recorded this clip is so angry. They're just like flicking their lighter in the reflection of the thing. They're just like, whoosh, whoosh. You can just see the aggressiveness in the lighter flicks here.
I know a lot of parents might not agree with me, but I don't normally spank my child.
It's safe to say that person did not agree. So, like I said, there's 2 sides to this, and we're going to talk about both sides. First, we're going to kind of go through a little bit of her explanation so we can give you guys full context. I am going to put this in the description below. Check it out. You need to form your own opinions. That's what we're about. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that she's not deleted this stuff by the amount of backlash that she's getting. I've seen Philip DeFranco retweet this, YouTuber Repzilla retweet this. A lot of bigger names are retweeting this in outrage. So she says, my hand was hurting long before I even started filming, which I think this is backtracking because she's realizing that, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have uploaded this video, which I am told that it's been deleted. And she's just kind of trying to make an excuse and a reason. But the thing about the internet is we see your reasoning already. She says, my hand was hurting long before I started filming. She was crying because she got popped, put in her crib, and got her ducky's iPad taken from her. This happened because she repeatedly didn't listen to me. Yeah, I was upset about the palette. She continues by saying, she's a lot smart than you guys think. She's the most intelligent toddler I know. She knows right from wrong. So yes, she knew what she was doing. She also knows that she's not to touch my makeup unless she asks, and I help. When I got up and came back, I was getting milk. Giving the iPad back and comforting her. Yes, I spank and pop my child, but only when she absolutely will not listen to my guidance. I've explained myself already, but now you've seen the rest of that part of the video. The rest was honestly me going on about how broke and sad I was. The thing that gets me is, generally, when I heard her say that she popped her kid, I thought that was the spanking, but she specifies that she spanks and pops her child, so I really don't know what that means. I know when I was a kid, getting popped was literally like getting popped in the mouth. That might not sound good. Childhoods can be rough at times. One Twitter user says, she's 2. No matter how smart she is physically a 2-year-old. I get hitting your kids, but when you're 2, it's crossing the line. And over makeup, no less. Just because she doesn't listen, there are better ways. She's 2. Her IQ doesn't matter in the least. She's a child. One Twitter user saying, I'd love to pop you. Another Twitter user saying, she's 2 years old. All you're teaching her is how to hit and intimidate someone smaller than her. You'd be wise to stop explaining, but take it down and actually learn from this. The minute you hide something from your baby, you've turned it into a game. You put them up. I've seen a lot of people talking about this on Twitter today. I woke up and it was all over the homepage. I get like makeup palettes are real pretty, bright colors. You gotta know to put that up out of reach of your child's general vicinity. Kids are going to emulate the adults because that's what's teaching them. This is their experience that they're having. So if the kid sees the adult playing in makeup, they're going to be super, super interested in this colorful thing. So maybe get like a play makeup kit or something like that while you play with your big makeup kit. But definitely don't pop and spank your kid, punish your kid for over makeup. That to me doesn't make any sense. Here's an interesting little piece of the thread here that goes into the definition of pop. I'm very interested in your definition of pop because in New York, that's a close fist to the face. Stevie Wolf says, in Vegas, it means the same thing. It kind of seems like pop means about the same everywhere. Another person saying, it means the same thing everywhere. It means assault. This is what Philip DeFranco had to say. So Michelle Grace, I don't believe in spanking or popping your children in general, but even for those that do believe in that, who does it to a effing 2-year-old? And over an effing pallet. Heartbreaking and infuriating. This is exactly how I feel about this situation. Repzilla says, let's hit my 2-year-old kid because I left out my makeup or didn't put it away in an area of reach they can't get to. Hitting children does not help obedience. It makes them rebel more and normalizes physical abuse as normal. Again, I have to agree with that, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Since this controversy has happened, Michelle Grace has blacked out her pictures on her Twitter, taken off her location because many people have threatened to call CPS. And at this time, I think a little bit of investigation. I don't like pushing this on situations like this, but maybe this situation is a little bit more sensitive to me because of my past, my childhood that I grew up in. I heard that Michelle is from the South, and I'm not trying to generalize the South in any way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to say that everyone in the South does this, but specifically growing up in the South, it seems like abuse is more normalized here. And if you guys are from the South, you probably can understand what I'm trying to get at. Other parts of the country don't really get it. The social norms and folkways in the South are completely different from other parts of the country. And having traveled out west to LA and places, I kind of see the differences in how people approach discipline for their children and just what defines normal in other parts of the country, if that makes sense. Kids getting popped, getting general stripes, which means exactly what it sounds like, getting a belt across the back, getting a foot up your butt, like literally like getting kicked through the house, literally taking a switch to them till it bleeds. Things that are abuse and things that you guys it would drive you guys crazy out there was a very normal thing for us in the South. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that it was absolutely wrong, and that's why it triggered me so much, because it gave me flashbacks of my childhood, because this is the type of treatment I got. If I did something wrong, I got general stripes, I got popped. I mean, that was just how it is. It was like a general, normal, more conservative type way of punishment, which I hated. I hated a lot. I can say 100% that this woman needs educated, and I think that is a really, really good way to approach it. It's going to be difficult for the majority that have witnessed this whole scenario unfold to approach it in a helpful attitude, because they want to demonize her, they want to take her down, they want her to be off the internet. Let me read to you what an actual therapist had to say about this situation. Quentin Clausen, hi, clinical therapist here, who specializes in the treatment of child abuse victims. You stated my 2-year-old just got her ass beat and my hand hurts because I just beat the crap out of her. As a professional, I can guarantee that behavior you described is detrimental to your child's development, considering you filmed yourself describing this behavior, edited the footage, and then published a video. I am under the impression that you would consider this behavior typical, justified. This goes back to what I was talking about, the norms and folkways in the South. It is not And it is incredibly important for your child's future well-being that you hold yourself accountable and educate yourself on the countless potential adverse effects that behavior could have on your child. Let me be clear. There is no justification for your behavior you described, and there are alternative, effective, non-detrimental ways of responding to a toddler's defiant behavior. With that said, I don't believe it is constructive to vilify you. What would be constructive is to offer you resources and education so that this behavior does not become cyclic. Often, the behavior you described is heavily influenced by environmental factors. And although you are accountable for your behavior, I can appreciate that this could be the result of extenuating circumstances and not simply a result of your character. Feel free to DM me, Michelle Grace, if you're at all interested in getting connected with resources in your area. I'm hoping the best for you and your child. 100% agree with this, and as difficult as it is for all of us that are angered by this and triggered by this, this is probably the best approach, because this is that whole terminology. If you teach a man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. If you give him a fish, you feed him for the day. I would like to see this pushed more in the southern area. I'm sure there's other parts of the country that this is also a normalized thing. But just in my experience, and like I said, I'm probably just in like this social bubble because I was born and raised in the South. It is a thing that I would like to see pushed down here. I would like to see education on how to treat your children pushed strongly more, especially for people that are new to parenting, because what you get is a cyclic thing, a vicious cycle, if you will, where the parents who were not taught themselves how to do things teach that behavior to their child, and then that child grows up and just repeats the process over and over again. But that being said, and as interesting as it is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes. And as always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. I was highly triggered by this. I love my parents, but this was the way that they were taught, and their parents before their parents before their parents, and it has a lot to do with proper education. I've grown up and I'm in a position to where I can teach my family better, and when I do have my kids one day, I will teach them the proper ways to do things to the best of my ability. But you best believe I'm going to read books, I'm going to take classes and all this other stuff. I'm actually quite excited about my future family, whenever that may be. First I'd have to find probably a girlfriend and all that stuff like that, and I'd have to fall in love, and we're far from that right now. We have a YouTube channel to take care of, and you guys are my family. So thank you to the patrons. Really appreciate the support. I do want to give a special shout out to a couple Rep Squad members tonight. Donna Scott, who has given the most support as a patron, and Marissa Clifford. Marissa Clifford, who is also a big Shane Dawson fan. She's one of my standout supporters. She's been there always spreading positivity, literally since as far back as I can remember on this channel. And I want to start doing things to give back to the people that stand out in the community. It's like I feel like I'm going to make a shirt, and I'm going to put your name on it, and I'm going to wear it. And if it's not like a crazy thing, I'm just going to I feel like drawing your name all over the shirt and like wearing it. I think that would be a properly respectful thing just to do. That's just what I feel like doing. Over on the Repzilla Facebook page, I want to thank everybody for going over there and following the page. We are literally at 4,157. That's almost halfway to our 10,000 goal, which we need for monetization. Super happy about that. Do not like relying on the faulty YouTube platforms demonetization issues. So yeah, that being said, I know that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're regging. Hey, do that. I'll get your subscribe notification on. Be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well, and I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. Does anybody know actually what I say when I talk that fast?